And here we go again. Yet another PvP extraction shooter, right? Just like the Arc Raiders, here we go. We got yet another extraction shooter. But this time it's coming to us from Bungie, right? The famous Bungie. You all remember Bungie, right? Of course you do. How could you forget Bungie, right? Destiny. Well, forget Destiny. Halo Combat Evolved, right? 25 years ago, or is it 26 years ago? So here's my question. Why are we paying for this? Why are these games not free to play? For the life of me, I feel like I'm the only person on this planet that feels like it's asking these questions. And I feel like no one else is asking these common sense, logical questions. I'm not made out of money. I don't know. I can only speak for myself. Maybe the rest of you are made out of money, and whippity doopity doo, good for you. If you're made out of money, good for you. Maybe one day you will be broke and you will be on the street and you will understand what it's like not to be made out of money, because some of us cannot afford to pay for these games. Okay? All right? So don't think you're on top of the world. Don't think you can always have money. All right? Don't think you got it all figured out, that you're on top of the world. One day you're going to lose all that shit, lose all that money. Your wife divorce you, you lose the custody of children, and you're going to be out on the street, and you won't be able to find a job. Don't get too comfortable, all right? And then you go file a bankruptcy, chapter 4, and you lose your house, lose everything. All right, so don't think you're on top of everything. Settle down. I'm simply asking a question. Why is everybody acting as if they're made out of money, like they want to pay for everything? I don't want to pay for everything. But yet you guys want to bitch and moan about Game Pass. Riddle me this. Riddle me this nonsense. You guys want to bitch and moan about the Game Pass $30, but you're not going to bitch and moan about this. I bitched and moaned about Arc Raiders because I still, even though the game was given to me for free, I still don't believe I should pay for that game. And the worst part about the Arc Raiders, there's a paywall behind it that I have to pay. Why? I mean, maybe you guys are made out of money, but I'm just saying, don't get too comfortable. Don't think you're always going to be on top of the world, sitting on, the pyramid of money. Okay, I've seen people come and go. I've seen people go and fall, come and fall. All right, don't get too comfortable. I don't want to see anybody go broke. I don't want to see anybody lose a job. I don't want to see anybody not have money. But if you think that you're always going to have money, that you're always going to have an income and have a job, then you are delusional. And when the shit hits the fan, when you have no more money and you can't find a job, then you're going to watch this video. You're going to say, I think I understand what Mr. 4K is talking about. But anyway, that out of the way, riddle me this. You guys are bitching and moaning about the Game Pass $30 a month, which I have said you shouldn't have to pay. I was among the very first YouTuber that canceled. That made a video. On the video, I canceled my subscription to Game Pass. I was among the very first individuals on YouTube. And then everybody started canceling after me. Even the ones who were sitting on top of the, pyramids of money, fully loaded with money. Even they were canceling. Not because they can't afford it, but because they just want to be part of that club, But they're not bitching and moaning about this. They're not bitching and moaning about the Arc Raiders. They're not bitching and moaning about all these other games that they have to pay. I don't want to pay from Escape from Tarkov $50. I would never. For the life of me. I'll take that to the grave. I will never pay for any of these games. Unless somebody gifts it to me. Unless somebody says, hey, here you go. Here's a game. Go check it out. But you'll never see me out of my own pocket pay for these types of games. But here's the problem. There's a lot of simps out there, who are willing to pay for this. And that's why the Bungie, that's why, the developers from Sweden, the Arc Raiders, that's why they're making these games. And I think this sends the wrong message. This sends the wrong message that you are okay with this. You shouldn't be sending this message. You should send the message like this. If it's a PvP online game, it should be free to play. Because you already have the paywall behind it. You already got the paywall behind this. Therefore, you will make money on that. But the companies are greedy. They want to make more money. So What I'm simply trying to say is, I don't care about the marathon. I really don't. Just like I don't care much about the Arc Raiders. When was the last time you saw me play Arc Raiders? It's been what? A couple of months? Not a couple of months. It's been a 1 month. To be fair, a 1 month. But why have you not seen me play it for 1 month? Well, because I'm not one of those guys that even if I had the money, I would not pay for this. Forget about not having money, not having a job. Forget about all that shit, okay? For a moment, okay? Even though that's a very important part. But even if I was sitting on pyramid of money, Mount Everest of money, even if I was filthy rich gigatrillionaire, I would still not pay for this. It doesn't mean I'm cheap. It just means that I don't want to support this like you guys are. You guys constantly want to support this garbage. And then then don't bitch and moan about the Game Pass. Don't bitch and moan about the Game Pass. Don't bitch and moan about the Netflix. Why it's so expensive. Don't bitch and moan about anything. If you're willing to pay for this garbage, don't bitch and moan about, I have to pay how much for Netflix, how much for Game Pass, how much for PlayStation Plus. Hey, no. Don't bitch and moan. Take it in stride, take a strong whiff of it, and enjoy it. That's all I'm saying. But no, I don't support this garbage. No. I will never support this. And I don't even have any interest to play this garbage. Unless somebody gifts it to me to try it. I'll try anything once. Like if the friend of mine says, hey, you want to try this game? Yeah, why not? Make some money off of it, Go live stream it, make some money, make some clicks. Sure. Why not? But that's the only way that I would play it. But I would never pay for this. But you guys are willing to pay for it, and this is why we have these types of games. This is exactly the reason why we have these types of games. Because as long as you guys are willing to pay, they're going to make it. And with the success of the Arc Raiders, of course, here comes the marathon. And if this becomes successful, well, we'll see more of these PvP games. Because now you're telling them, the algorithm is telling the AI, hey, they love PvP. Let's go make some more PvP games. Woohoo! Let's charge $40 for the standard edition and $60 for the deluxe edition. Or if you want the ultimate edition, it's $90 plus the paywall behind it. Isn't it great? We know what's right for you and what's right just for your pockets. We know what's right for your pockets. So who's to blame for this? Don't blame the companies. Companies' jobs is to make money. I don't blame developers. I don't blame companies. I get it. They're in to make money. I blame you guys for not being smart enough to realize this sends the wrong message. I don't mind paying for like single player games like Resident Evil. That's worth it. If I had the money, I would pay for it. That's certainly worth it. But for this garbage, this PvP, once they close down the server, you're done. It's over. Once they close down the server on this, it's over. Once they close down the server on the Arc Raiders, it's over. Why should you have to pay for this? It should be free to play. Have we not learned anything from PUBG? Have we not learned anything from Call of Duty Warzone? Have we not learned anything from Valorant? Have we not learned anything from Fortnite, from crying out loud? Have we not learned anything from Apex Legends, the finals? Have we not learned anything from these free-to-play games like World of Tanks, World of Airplanes, World of Ships, whatever? Have we not learned anything from these free-to-play games? Even a High Guard. Yeah, I don't care if you don't like it. But it's free to play. It's free to play. Even a High Guard. Even, what's the other one? The Overwatch. The Overwatch 2. Free to play. I don't care if you don't like it. So, why are we allowing this? This is what I don't understand. This double standard. You guys are bitching and moaning about the Game Pass, but you're not bitching and moaning about this. Anyway, end of the video. I don't know what else to say. Bye.